Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Happy Mum, Happy Baby, the podcast. Now, I have just got back over the last month from being in Italy with my dad, my brother and my sister, and we've had an amazing time. So it feels really fitting to me to be in the studio with one of the nation's favourite Italians. Possibly I'm going to say the favourite Italian.
I think when you say one of the favourite,
sorry.
the. Can we rewind and we do this again? Oh, just the last bit, Giovanna, for me.
Okay, sorry.
Come on, one of. What do you mean one of? That is rubbish.
So I can't even think of any other Italian that might be the nation's favourite. Okay, as if I didn't say that. Let's ignore it. You've gone back in time. It feels fitting that I'm in the studio with the nation's
Stop there. Why the nation? Why not worldwide?
Okay.
I have shows that they go to Australia, in America, Japan, Canada. Now you narrow me down on one nation.
Okay,
let's rewind again. Yeah.
It feels fitting that I'm in the studio with the university's favourite Italian.
Now you're exaggerating. University is too big. Just the world. Just say the name world. How difficult it is. Just the world. Favorite.
The world's favourite Italian.
Ah, that's it. Which
Gino
one is me? Yes. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Fantastic. Really, really cool. And I've been looking forward to do this for a long time. I don't do many podcasts. I think this is my second or third. But the first one or two, they weren't really, they were like 20 minutes or like more of an interview.
Yeah.
This is a proper podcast.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling nervous.
Well, Jessica's told you to be careful on the way in.
My wife, she was like, do not mess this up. Gee, whatever you do, don't mess it. My age is the same. But Gino, be careful. There's a lot of mums listening. I was like, yeah, of course I'm going to be nice.
But you've got to it's you, and you've got to talk about your experience. So I always think when you're in the podcast room, everything else goes out the window. There's no right and wrong. This is all about you sharing your experience of being a dad.
Absolutely. And one promise that I'm going to make you, I will tell you the truth.
Lovely.
Doesn't matter if many people will disagree with me. I will always tell you the truth because I think it's important. We now live in this society where we want to hear the truth or people that tell us to lie because the truth sometimes is just too harsh to take it in.
Yeah.
I don't want to play that game.
Yeah.
I'm probably because as I'm getting older, well, no, I'm 46 this year, right? But I've been doing this for a long time and I'm like, wait a second, I want to be able to live a life that if I think different from Giovanna, I should be able to say so without getting crucified.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I love you. I love the title, Happy Mum, Happy Baby. There is nothing that makes me happy to see a happy mum with a happy baby. You know, when you go to the airport, when you go to the park or something, you see a happy mom, with their eyes sparkling and the baby's happy. Do you think, that is what life is all about?
It is.
Yeah. Obviously, if you see a happy man or a happy dad, it's the same thing. But is that kind of, the title is great.
Thank you.
Oh.
Let's talk about you and your childhood. Where did you grow up? Near Naples?
I grew up in a little town called Torre del Greco. Is a town that is between the Vesuvius, the volcano, and the sea. Near Naples, about 10 minutes away from Napoli. Yeah.
And what was your childhood like?
Happy, in a way that we didn't have a lot. Yeah. I grew up, my mom was one of 10 daughters and one brother, so it was 11 of them, yes. Yeah. So my grandfather and my grandmother had a big house with like a farm. Yeah. You know, one of those houses that then eventually a part of the house went to each daughter? Because in the old days, they used to do that in Italy. Do you remember? You would be a failure as a parent if you didn't leave a house for your children. Now, it's something that is completely gone. Yeah. Nobody thinks to buy a house for their children. Yeah, maybe they help them, but going back to my childhood, happy because we didn't have a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Although my mom and dad, they had this thing of arguing all the time.
Really?
Oh, that really annoyed me. They were arguing mainly about money.
Right.
I remember they used to both work with a normal wage. My mom used to be a nurse. My dad used to work in a shop, electrical shop. And, they used to get paid at the end of the month. Usually in Italy, you get paid about the 29th, 30th, 31st. I remember when we were about the 22nd, 23rd of the month, that's when, the last week, you had the fight.
Right.
Because money was, we were waiting for the money at the end of the month. We didn't have money, and that's when the stress happened.
Well, because everyone's on, just waiting to get to that point.
But that's not nice. I didn't find that fair and necessary. In fact, I've always said to my mom and dad, well, if we don't have money, let's chill, right?
Yeah.
But it put a lot of stress on their relationship, both of them.
Oh, that's something so many people can relate to as
well.
Yeah,
oh my God, yes. I can 100% understand. And that's when I remember, since I was a little boy, I made a promise to myself that I would make enough money not to be like my mom and dad on the last week of the month.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I thought that's one thing that they taught me. Or not teach me, but I picked from that relationship. Money can cause stress. So what is the secret? Trying to make as much money as possible at the beginning of your relationship so then you don't have that problem.
Yeah.
Definitely helps. I don't care when people, they say money don't make you happy. Who the hell come up with that rubbish? That's not true. I'm sorry, Joanna, it's not true because, when you don't have money and you're stressed and you see your kids, they're struggling and your wife is struggling, the stress comes
Well,
out.
Especially if you know that your parents were arguing because times were hard and they were struggling financially at that point.
Yeah.
You know that what would help that situation was money.
Was literally money. Nothing more than that.
Yeah.
I think if my mom and dad had a little bit more money, they would have still been together until the last day of their life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the reason why they separated about 10 years ago is it was not because of love. They were like me and my wife. They knew each other for a long time. So since they were teenagers, it was purely because of that.
That's quite rare, I imagine, them separating so late in life.
Yes, I think my dad, yes, very rare, you're right, because usually when you separate, especially in Italy, you separate quite early. I think they got involved into this social thing that it was okay to get a divorce.
Yeah.
Can you imagine in the 90s or the 80s to get a divorce? It would have been insane.
I know.
Especially, everybody's Catholic, they go to church every Sunday, so that, but then when they felt that it was okay, they went for it.
One thing, so my dad and all of his family, and you as well, came over from Italy to England. What was that push that made you make that leap?
Torre del Greco, where I was born, my town was far too small for what I wanted to do. Once I set in my mind that I wanted to create something with my career, and I went to the catering college to become a chef. Living in Torre del Greco, it was too small. I would have ended up just being a pizza guy in a shop somewhere in Torre del Greco. So I decided that I wanted to go abroad. So I came to England the first time I was in Guildford when I was 16 years old.
Oh.
So I did my summer experience. Then I went back to school. And the year after, I went to Spain, where I met my wife.
Really?
And it was a Sylvester Stallone's restaurant. So Sylvester Stallone's opened a restaurant in Puerto Banús, near Marbella. And they called me from the school because I qualified one of the top master chef at the school.
Right.
And they asked me to go there for the summer.
And what was Jessica doing there?
She was a waiter.
Ah.
So she was a waiter. I was one of the chefs. And we used to meet in the meat fridge, where I used to keep the meat, right? And she used to put the butter. I know, she used to put the butter and some other bits and pieces for the tables. So 3-4 times a day, we used to kind of meet in there. Hi, how are you? We didn't really like each other. No, didn't like, but it was normal at the beginning. Hi.
Yeah. And
then we kissed in the meat fridge one day, and then that's how it happened. I was 18.
Not many people can say that, their romance started in a meat fridge.
In a meat fridge, yeah. That's where mine started, yeah.
Amazing.
Great. Yeah, well, 28 years later, we're still together, yeah.
So how did you both decide to move to England? Did kids and family, was that all discussed straight away?
I wanted to go to America. at the time, and but then my then girlfriend Jessica, she went, yeah, look, why don't you come to England? You already came last year when I was in Guildford.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I don't know. I don't know. And then she said, come here. I'm going to put you up in my mum's. She used to live with mum and dad, Elizabeth and Malcolm. And they had a sofa. They said, no, we can put you on the sofa. So I was very grateful because nobody knew me then. And this girl, Jessica, just brought a stranger into her family. But they embraced me like I was a son when I went there. So that's how. So I stayed with them for about 6 months. Then me and Jessica, we got a place.
Yeah. And did you talk about kids?
Straight away?
Yeah.
Not really. No, because I did not want to talk about kids unless I knew that I had a very good job.
Right.
Because going back with my mom and dad, I did not want to start a family unless I had a proper job where I could provide, and I did not have the same problem that my mom and dad did.
Yeah.
So, although saying that, I got married when I was 24. And the year after, when I got married is when I started the television, more or less at the same time. So I thought, oh, this one could be good. And then I had my first boy, Luciano, when I was 25.
What was it like when you found out she was pregnant? Can you remember? It's a long time ago now. It's 20 years ago.
Oh, it's a long time ago. Very exciting, scary at the same time, because now all of a sudden there is someone else to look after. But I was okay. I've always been a very hand-on dad. So I changed nappies straight away, feed them straight away. Because one of the things that I've always done is to treat children not with bubble wrap all around them. Or I've always treated children like adults.
Yeah. Can you remember meeting Luciano?
I took Luciano out.
Did you?
Yeah. I was there. My wife wanted to have a swimming birth thing there in
birthing pool.
Birthing pool, yeah. And
in the hospital or at home?
In the hospital.
Yeah.
And I've always said I want to take, whenever we're gonna have children, I want to take them out. Yeah. Right. I want to take them out, cut the cord, do the lot.
Yeah.
And I did.
Did you?
Oh yeah. That was cool.
Well, can you remember what that experience was like for you?
It was different because that was the first time that I saw my wife so vulnerable there. You know, I don't want to picture now, but you know, you go there, open your leg, all these things going on, and you think, wow. As a man, I would never be able to do that. That is probably the first time in my life where I realize women are definitely stronger than men. You can't. If you can do that, you can do anything in life. And
nothing can really prepare you for it either, I think.
No, because nobody prepares you for that. No, it's just something that naturally happens. But I was shocked in a way that how can any human go through that much pain and that much, you know, kind of wild situation.
And the way that the human body, the female body is made so that can happen.
It's insane. It's insane. It's insanely beautiful, though. Although, you know, technically when you look at things, they're not very kind of charming things to look at. But then when you look at the overall, you go, that is super cool.
Yeah.
That's such a beautiful thing to do.
Did life change a lot during that period with having Luciano? Because did you have 4 years gap between...
No, 2 years gap between Luciano and Rocco.
Okay.
And then 10 years gap between Rocco and Mia.
Right.
Yeah, because I wanted a girl. So...
Did you?
Oh, yeah. When the second one came around, Rocco, I was like, okay, that's another Willie in the family. What the hell? Where is the little girl? And then we got it. 10 years later, yeah.
Did you purposely wait that period? Or was it like a subconscious thing where you were like, let's just embrace these two and then have another one later on?
Well, I think at some point I kind of gave up in my mind that I wanted a girl in a way that it was going on and on and on. The boys were growing. I was like, I'm never going to get a girl. And then at some point I went, come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. And she came into our life. Best thing ever.
Really?
Yeah, much better than those other two boys. Look, people ask me, I don't know if you got it in your notepad there, what's your favorite recipe? That is a question that I cannot answer. But ask me which one is my favorite child. And I don't care if they know. I don't care.
So what is it about, you know, the father-son, the father-daughter relationship that you've kind of Well, because obviously it's lived up to your expectation. You really wanted a girl. You've got a girl. She is clearly your world.
What is it? I don't know. For me, because it's the female thing. You know, I've always loved women. You know, my women has always been in my life. I've always been surrounded by women since I was a little boy. I remember all my cousins, they used to go play football on the bike. I used to always be in the kitchen.
Right.
In the kitchen with my grandmother, my auntie, my female cousin. I learned how to sew. Because some of my auntie, they used to sew dresses.
Yeah.
So I wanted to learn that. So I've always had a big feminine attraction and feminine side on me. So for me, I've always wanted to have one of my own. I wanted to have my own kind of female. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I wanted to have my girl.
Yeah. And did that, because obviously we were talking actually before we started recording about work.
Yeah, we talked a lot before we...
Be careful.
Don't tell them everything I said.
No. But in terms of like the work balance...
You can.
In terms of like work-life balance, when the boys were younger, you would have been working a lot.
Yes.
A lot more.
Yeah.
Whereas when Mia came along, you know, not just because of Mia, but you had got to a point of life where you could kind of take the foot off the accelerator a bit and enjoy family life.
Yes, when my boys grew up, I was working every day. Every day, maybe not Saturday, maybe not Sunday, but you know, one holiday for a couple of 2-3 weeks throughout the summer, and that's what I knew. Then before Mia came around, I was already slowing down. And when I found out that we had Mia, then I decided only to work 6 months of the year. So in the last 10 years, I only work 6 months of the year. Yeah.
It's pretty magical.
It's pretty cool. It's cool.
But
I mean, if you can do that, it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
But not because always, you do need also to have a good job, money-wise, you can do that. I get that. But it's a mental thing. It's something that is, you fight to be able to keep that promise. I fight with myself all the time. Because jobs comes, they throw a lot of money at you, and you kind of tend to, everybody will say, okay, let's take the money because you never know what's happened tomorrow. We keep saying that, and years go by.
So looking back to the early days with the boys, do you feel like you missed out on stuff because of the pull between?
Oh, I don't have those kind of regrets that fathers or moms they have because they work and they don't spend enough time. Look, I come from a generation where I used to see my dad in the evening, Monday to Saturday, when we had dinner at the table for about an hour. And then I used to see him on Sunday for a couple of hours. He used to take us to the park or something like that. So I don't buy into this thing where I have to feel that I have to do things, or society has to make me feel that I have to do things all the time with the kids. I don't buy into that. No,
but as a mum, so I think women are always throwing that juggling question. Like, how do you juggle and how do you get that balance right? Which I think in our house, me and Tom are trying to work out what that juggle is and trying not to have any regrets, because actually by going out for work, you are also providing for your kids.
So I mean, you're doing that. And I think it's insane when I see a lot of mums, working mums and working dads, that you see them, that they're kind of suffering because they wanted to spend more time with the kids, but probably not because they want to, it's because they feel that they have to. You know, I think I should take 3 days off to take my daughter there and there because I've seen other moms doing that. Yeah, well, not really. Well, just because you see it doesn't mean that that's the norm or that's what you should do. It's because of social media, the things that we see. And I blame David Beckham. Yes, I do.
Why do you blame David Beckham?
Because when he became a father, I mean, not literally. When he became a father, before David Beckham, you know, dads, they used to go to work and they used to see the kids in the evening or something like that, and so it was moms. Then he came around, or people like him, and we started to have social media, so everybody started to see what other celebrities. They used to take the kids everywhere. They used to take the kids to school. They used to take the kids to work. And I was like, that is ruined my life, that man. Now I have to do the same. So we all felt that we had to keep up with this cool parenting way of doing things. Dads taking kids to school. I never remember seen any dad when I used to be a boy going to school. But neither moms. We used to walk by ourselves at 10 years old to go to school.
Yeah.
So this idea of the cool dad and the cool mom is only a crap.
But it's important as well, because I think so much, if you're not working, you're with the kids, and taking time for yourself is so important.
Super important.
People can see it as a guilty, like that thing.
They feel guilty.
Yeah.
Well, why would you feel guilty? Not only is important for the relationship with your kids, it's also important for the relationship with your partner to also have a life by yourself. That's another thing. People say to me, wow, 28 years with the same woman, married for 20. How the hell do you do that? Simple. We don't live in each other's pockets.
Really?
Jessica just came back from a holiday with her friends, 3 days away. She comes here 2 days. In 2 days' time, I'm off for a holiday with my mate for 2 days. Then she goes out with her male or female for dinner. I do the same with my male and female friends for dinner. You need to allow the other person to have another life. You can't.
But when a relationship starts, so often you are together. Do you know what I mean?
The mistake.
That's the
Nobody has the balls.
Start. But it's realizing that relationship can evolve, and that space is a good thing.
It's a good thing. And also at the beginning of the relationship, don't be too much, oh yeah, let's spend all the time together, because eventually ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. Men and women, they're not designed by all men to be together they're not. Right? We think in a different way, we have a different taste, we do different things. Can we live together? Yes, we can. But forever, holding hand in hand? No flipping way. It ain't gonna happen. Because that's when you break the relationship. It's impossible. It's not a natural thing to do.
So, I mean, but you are aiming for forever, but not every second of forever.
No. I will get bored. I will get bored. If I knew all the secrets of my wife, that's not attractive to me. I want her to keep some of the secrets. I want to find out something new every couple of years, because that excites me to find, right or wrong, or whatever I'm going to find out, I don't know. But I need to have that excitement. This super open relationship, let's tell each other everything. There is no secret. Fuck off. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested for a long run and not just a quick spring thing.
Yeah. But you've not got a
Sorry
quick
about
spring
the swearing thing, but I
It's
get very
okay.
passionate
we'll
about...
Put a little E on the podcast.
Okay. I get very passionate about something like that, because it's nonsense. Absolutely nonsense.
And obviously, while you were...
Well, what about you? Is you and Tom living in each other's pocket all the time? I don't believe that, because you
No.
go off and do your own things. Tom goes off and does his own thing.
Yeah. It's sometimes a bit of a high-fiving situation.
Cool.
You go do your thing.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. No, we've both got our separate passions, which keeps it interesting.
Great. That's what it's all about.
But also for us, like we're our kids are 8, 6, and 4, so it feels like we're still very
strange
much...
names for your kids. 8, 6, and 4. What have you got? You got 2.
All boys.
They're all boys.
All boys.
Wow.
And I am not aiming for the girl.
No?
No, shop shut.
Shop shut.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
For
now.
There are you don't have to have a shop to have a girl.
No.
You can window shop.
Yeah. Window shop. That's very true.
It's true, no? You can. There's a lot of girls out there that they would love to have a mum and dad like you and Tom.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. But I think for us, we're still in the thick of them being young.
They are young, I have to say. 8, 6, and 4, they are young.
They are.
Yeah, they are. So, that is not a good... I'm going to be honest with you, that's not my favorite age.
Really?
No. I don't want to say I don't like children, because it's not true.
Yeah.
So, hear me out here. I don't like the children when they're children. How do you say that? Okay, technically you're right. I don't like children.
So are there certain ages then?
Look.
4 to 8.
I love my girl, okay, Mia. Her name is Mia. She's my princess. But if she says to me, would you like to do a Lego for half an hour? The answer is no.
Right.
Okay?
You're not playing.
Would you like to watch again Frozen 2 for an hour and 20 minutes, whatever? No. No. And I don't feel that I have to, just because she's my princess. But if I say to her, let's go shopping, because I like, that's what I do. I like to do different things, but I don't want to do children things.
Right.
Coloring, all that crap, glittering. I'm not interested. I really never been interested, and I don't want to be. Never, ever, ever. I remember I sat down with my kids to coloring or glittering or fucking whatever, Lego or shit. I'm not interested.
What about cooking?
Yes, cooking, yeah. That's probably the only thing that I would say, come on, one of you come and give me a hand, flour, eggs and stuff like that. Cooking, yes.
And did you have great patience with that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't have patience for kids, no. For me, children, they can come to me and start to talk to me sensible after about 13.
Okay.
They need to be teenagers.
Right.
I can deal with that. Although many people, they say, oh, that is the worst time. No. That's easy. I can deal with that. I don't want to deal with someone who you cannot reason.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
And they have big emotions.
They have big emotion and they are unreasonable. Because obviously in their head, they're kids. So if they want to watch television until 11 o'clock, how you going to, how many times do I have to say tomorrow, you need to go to school, you need to brush your teeth, So I don't get involved.
Mm-hmm.
But
from 13... You're there.
13, 14, I'm there. I'm there. In fact, I'm more, I don't know in English how to say, I was going to say, I'm more present now for them than I ever been when they were kids.
Really?
For my boys, for example. Yeah. Yeah, now is the time. Talk to me about business. Talk to me about opening restaurant. Talk to me about what you want to do, your passion, your sport, this and that. You have all my attention. But please don't ask me to watch fucking Frozen 2 again, because you don't have my attention.
Now, I know that Mia is your world, and I feel like if tonight Mia says to you, Dad, Frozen 2, there's no way you're saying no.
100% the truth is no.
Really?
100%.
Would you steer her in a different direction? Say, Mia?
I would say, why don't we watch a documentary, a David Attenborough documentary?
Nice.
Or why don't we watch Only Fools and Horses? I like watching it. See, sometimes I put Only Fools and Horses. She laughs. She likes.
I just wasn't expecting that compared to like David Attenborough. Or, Only Fools and Horses. I mean, they're basically the same thing.
Oh, there's, she loves when Trigger calls Rodney Dave. And she keeps saying, why is he calling him Dave?
That's brilliant, isn't it? I know that she's 9 and we don't like kids until they're 13, but when they start getting jokes or they start making up their own jokes.
But those are proper jokes, not Frozen 2. Those are not jokes. That's crap. You want to hear a joke? We need to watch Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, okay.
You need to watch Only Fools and Horses, Fawlty Tower, those kind of proper English humor. That's what I like to watch.
Yeah.
So the compromise will be, okay, not to Frozen 2. You want to spend an hour with me? We watch Only Fools and Horses. Oh, let's go and cook.
Yeah. I love that.
Simple.
Yeah.
My wife, opposite.
Oh, really?
If she asked her to watch 6 times in a day Frozen 2, she will watch 6 times and then complains all evening that she's been watching 6 times. And I'm like, why did you do it? What's the point of complaining? Do something else.
Growing up, for your kids, how important was food?
I think it was everything, because it's the only thing that we kind of had.
Yeah. But if you're also out working and, you've got your, career kind of
like really my mum and dad working
off. No, you.
Me, okay.
So then for your kids, starting to eat food and everything like, were you kind of trying to steer Jessica into what she was giving them? Were you trying out new flavours and stuff with them? Were you really loving the fact that they were eating?
I've always treated my kids like adults, I said to you at the beginning.
Yeah.
So as soon as they were going into proper food, they were eating anything.
Really?
From pureed lobster to pureed pig to puree I used to puree. I even pureed clams.
No.
For my daughter, and she loves clams. If anything. I don't buy into this thing. You need to be careful with kids with this, with that. Bollocks. You just give them whatever you want. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a bit hot on things like chocolate and crap food. I don't like that.
Okay.
Because I think now it's not a treat anymore. It becomes it's too much.
Right.
is too much. They eat too much crap.
Yeah.
Generally, kids.
Well, you can see how easily that can happen. Like growing up for me, we used to have one biscuit, and then we'd have to ask for a second biscuit, and sometimes the answer was no.
No, most of the time it was no, because then you would have been classified as greedy, ungrateful.
Yes.
My mom used to say, right?
Yeah.
Now you're trying to, no, it's too much. The fat intake of our kids and salt and all of that is far too much.
Do you think your childhood of not having a lot also, like, feeds into that in some way? You know, like all the snacks and stuff can feel a bit greedy.
It's greedy, yeah. Well, yes, it does a lot. You know the chocolate spread Nutella?
Yeah.
Okay. My mom used to buy a jar of Nutella every 3 months. We were allowed to have 1 teaspoon of Nutella on a Saturday morning. Giovanna, I swear to you, today and last Saturday, right? I remind them every Saturday when I have my kids around, I pick up the jar of Nutella and I always go, and then my boss go, yeah, we know, 1 teaspoon. And even my daughter now, she goes, please don't tell us the story again. I keep reminding them.
Yeah.
But we live in this world where we consume everything and whenever we want. I opened the sweet cabinet a couple of days ago and I was like, this is just not right. This is just not right. Anyone can go in there, pick up whatever they want. My kids are quite good because we live an open policy that they can do whatever they want, pretty much. They don't actually go there too much.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the secret. Don't ban it. Just make sure they understand what they're doing. And but still, in my opinion, far too much.
Yeah.
So my kids, they eat everything. Also because they don't have a choice. I don't give them a choice, no.
Yeah.
No, I don't buy into. If when we have an argument, my wife and I, most of the time is when I hear, "What would you like for dinner?" Oh my God, I lose my shit wherever I am, in the office, on the sofa, playing a guitar, outside. If I hear those words, I will stop everything that I do. I run in and I start to shout like a mental.
Do you?
Like a crazy man. What the hell do you mean? What do you want for dinner? What the fuck? This is not a restaurant. My mom and dad never said to me, what you want for dinner? What the hell? What kind of a question is that? That is the worst thing that you can do to a child.
Because also everyone's got to agree on what they're eating.
Oh my God, then, Luciano, I want a Chinese. The other one, he wants Indian. The other one, he wants a pizza. It's the most stupid thing ever. I always say to my wife, cook. Or I cook, whoever cooks. Put it on the table. That's the end of the story. What about if they don't like it? Well, let me tell you, if they don't like it, you can say, don't eat. And we can say that probably for about 3 or 4 days in a row. Because nowadays, I'm happy to hold steady on that for 3-4 days in a row. She goes, yeah, but what about 3-4 days kids not eating? I always say, look, the intake of crap of these kids nowadays is so big that even for a week, if you let them not eat, they're going to be okay. Give them water. But obviously, I don't encourage people not to feed their kids for a week. But you need to be strong at the table. If you don't like a certain thing, just say, don't worry about it. Go to bed. Yeah, but I'm hungry. No, you can't be hungry. Because if you were hungry, then you would eat the food there. Yeah. So I never played that game.
Gino, you have a new book out at the moment.
Yes.
Tell me about this book.
Book is called Gino's Italy, like Mama used to make.
Wow.
Yeah, which I just finished the series filming for ITV. It's a book that I've dedicated to all the women in my life. So it's to celebrate all the women in my life. So all the recipes in the book are recipes that my grandmother gave to me, my auntie Clara, which is the older sister of my mother, 10 sisters and 1 boy. And I've always been around kitchen and aunties, cousins. Different from all my other male cousins that they used to go playing football. I was always interested in cooking. So I wanted to do a book to celebrate all the women in my life. My mom is not with us anymore.
Right.
So neither is my grandmother. So I just went backwards.
And it does it feel special going backwards? Because I think we're all trying to come up with new recipes all the time. But sometimes the things that come before us, they are brilliant. They are perfection in themselves. And they mean so much because they kick off like loads of different memories and things
One
like
thing
that.
I've realized that there is never been, and I don't think it will ever be, a modern recipe that will match an old recipe. Food is already been done. They done it. They've been there. They have all the medals. They have everything. The only thing we can do nowadays is to put a few touches on something that is already existing. So going back is being just amazing to remind myself and to remind everybody how this beautiful recipe came around and why we should follow them and learn, because there is a lot to say about those recipe that they are not expensive but yet full of flavors, yet they can feed a hell of a lot of people, because that's what Italian food is all about. Inexpensive, beautiful to look at, full of flavor, but then all of a sudden you can feed 10 people.
It's food for all, isn't it? That's the thing.
I like that. Food for all. I like that. It's food for all. I mean, I never met anyone so far that doesn't like Italian food. Have you ever met someone who goes, I don't like Italian food? They will say they don't like Indian. They will say they don't like Chinese. They will say they don't like Mexican food. They will say they don't like Spanish food or Greek or anything like that. Have you ever met someone? Name one person.
I don't think I ever have.
There you go. Food for all. That will be probably the...
Are you going to add it to the back of the book? Giovanna Fletcher says.
No, Giovanna, I'm going to make a lot of money by just writing another book called...
Food for All.
Gino's Italy, Food for All. So, thank you. Thank you.
Great. I'm so glad.
I will send you the book.
That.
Don't worry about
Thanks.
it. I will send you the book.
Okay. I cannot wait.
How about that?
I can't wait. And I think food is so... It does take you back. It transports you. And there is nothing like the food from your mum, from your grandma, you know.
The only thing you're going to have to forgive me, when you receive the book, you will find that there are loads of pictures of me.
God.
No.
Really,
Listen, it's not picture of me now. What we did, we went through all my pictures as I was growing up. So picture from when I was like 2 days old until yesterday. And you will realize one thing, all right? You will realize there's a lot of picture of me with my willy out. And let me tell you why. There is a reason. No.
Did you just like being nude all the time?
No, because I was too little. I was some of the 6 months or 1 year or one. My mom and my dad always wanted a boy.
Yeah.
Okay? So when I came out and I had a boy, my father... endlessly picture of me with my willy out. So even there are more picture of me naked than picture of me dressed up, because he was so proud in those days, right? That everything has to be with leg open, willy out. You will flick through.
I love the idea as well of people coming around going, yeah, that's my boy.
That's what I mean.
It's a boy.
So as you're flicking through, you will see my mom and dad as they were young, a lot of picture of me when I was young, and a lot of picture of my thing.
Has it been emotional to make?
I think the book was emotional when we went through the pictures. Yeah. When we went through the picture, it was emotional. Yes.
And do you see? Obviously, you know, you've got a lovely life now. 6 weeks holiday, 6 months off a year. But do you take time to reflect on how far where life started and where you are now?
6 months of the year.
Full of reflection.
I mean, those 6 months of the year, the only thing that I do is probably every day I go, okay, this is working. Thank you. I don't say thank you to God. I say just thank you. Someone has made that happen. It could be just me. I probably just say thank you to myself, but I just say thank you.
If you could write a letter on being a dad, who would it be to, and what would you say?
If I could write a letter to whom?
Anyone. If you could write a letter about being a dad, who would you write it to, and what would you say? You could write it to your younger self, you could write it to the kids, you could write it to other dads.
I would write this letter to my father. Yeah. Because I would write to and the letter would be very short. I'm not a big writer or somebody who talks a lot on the phone or writing emails or something like that. I would remind him that to be the best dad ever, you need to be the best man with yourself ever. So as simple as that.
Yeah.
To be a good mom, you need to be a good woman. To be a good dad, you need to be a good man.
Yeah.
And that's what my letter would say. Then if he understands, he understands. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't write to myself 30 years ago, no. I wouldn't write about that. I probably would write some lottery numbers. I'm going to be honest.
Why waste the letter?
What a waste of time. Me writing to myself about being a dad? No. I would put all the betting that you can imagine, lottery numbers and all crap like that. Sorry, Giovanna. If you were looking for something more romantic, you ain't going to get here.
Do you know what? I love that. I love that. I'm going to take the lottery numbers.
You can't be a good father if you're not good to yourself first. We're going back to what we said before. You need to be a little bit selfish. You need to think about yourself, because how can you think about someone else if you don't have the kind of courage to look after yourself? It's impossible.
Do you not think your dad did?
No. He was scared. He was scared. I don't think he knew how to do it. So I would send a letter to him,
Yeah. We finished the podcast with you.
Already?
I know. You've been talking,
We've been talking for over an hour?
We've been talking for an hour, yeah.
Wow. I thought it was only 20 minutes. I've actually quite liked this as an experience. I'm not saying I'm going to take your job as a podcaster.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
No. Also because you got a very cool, happy mom, happy baby. I thought we would have questions from people, but obviously we can't have questions from people.
No, it's just me.
Just me and you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So when are we going to do this again? Because I really enjoyed.
Well, maybe we'll go and make a TV show together.
I like that. I've been looking for a female partner for a what do you call a wife?
Yeah. A TV wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
A TV wife for a long time.
Well, we've both got vacancies. I've not got a TV husband. You've not got a TV wife.
True.
High five to that.
Yes.
There we go.
I'm just a little bit worried because my wife doesn't like your husband.
Oh, God, this could be messy.
What about if then they're going to start to say, yeah, but then we want to become... But then it's got nothing to do with television. And then that
they're just going out together.
Could we ruin everything that we build with this idea? I don't...
Who knows?
No, I don't think so.
It's worth a try.
No, otherwise we're just going to end up in a foursome.
You heard it here first, folks.
There we go. He had to say that. Yes.
Okay, I want you to complete these 3 sentences, okay?
You want me to complete the 3 sentences?
I'm going to start a sentence, you have to finish it.
Oh, God. Okay.
Being a dad means...
Being a dad means... caring for someone else, but still caring for yourself.
Since having children, I
pretty much done everything that I used to do when I was single or when I was married without the kids.
Yeah.
Nothing didn't make any difference.
And I'm happy when?
I'm happy when I'm on the island of Sardinia with my family and I'm not working.
That's the thing, because even though you have so much time, like you're saying about putting yourself first, having that time for you, family is still everything to you.
Yes, because I wouldn't be happy by myself.
Yeah.
I'm happy by myself for 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to.
Yeah.
But after a while, it's not complete. The happiness is not complete. It's 80%, 70%. To have a complete happiness, you need the family around you.
And that's the Italian thing, isn't it? That happiness comes from family, it comes from community.
Yes, pretty much, you're right.
Gino, thank you so much.
No, grazie a te. Ma tu parli italiano, sì, eh?
I do, but only a little bit, and I've been trying to learn.
Ma come you mean? Parli italiano?
Do your kids speak Italian?
Luciano does, Rocco does, Mia is learning now.
Okay, I'm on par with a 9-year-old. There we go, I'm happy with that.
But they swear in Italian like nobody else.
Oh, yeah, of course.
No? Tu pure qualche parolaccia la conosci, no? Parolaccia. Il fa sei testa di cazzo. You know what it means?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
Prego.
Ciao.
Ciao.